Buongiorno Lamborghini fans, we have a 1/64 scale version of the Vision Gran Turismo concept that actually became a full-size vehicle. That supercar Blondie has one of the coolest jobs in the world. She just travels around and looks at hypercars. Anywho, yeah, unfortunately I didn't even know this thing existed, so I missed the green one. It was totally sold out. So nowadays you can get a blue or this red. I think you can still get the black ones. It would be actually cool to see this in metallic orange. Anyhow, or sky blue, I suppose. I can't read that. I'm looking for the brand. Who made this thing? I don't know. It says TM 164. I'll have to look up the listing for you guys as to who made this and the proper title of this video. Alright, let's get this thing open here. So this is a die-cast, it's not a resin. A long time ago I wish someone made a resin version of this, but since I've had a few windows pop off on those things, I'm starting to go back to, I prefer molded windows. I like resin bodies, but I'd like to see molded windows in a resin body, and I think that would be the most detailed 1/64 scale you could get, because plastic bodies can always have better details than die cast. Okay, so TM, some sort of Chinese stuff there. Tells you what the car is, which is nice. Tells you what the scale is as well. And I'm just going to leave it on the base because I don't care if it rolls or not. And frankly, the tire is already scraping the body, so it's doubtful it's going to roll. Let's take a look here at these images. I mean, the wheels are a little bit, thicker. They have to be. But otherwise, the impression is it does look similar. Maybe that's a better photo for the front. Those little light bars. Although I don't know what those two bars in the middle are, like there's splitters. I don't see any of these illuminated here. This sorry, the camera's on a boom. This thing. But why are they lit up? Well, that's a horizontal line. Well, this is the only 1/64 scale version of this car, to my knowledge. We're just gonna have to go with it. Just reading some Wikipedia, actually not just an AI response from Google. This thing has the real car is a 6.5 liter naturally aspirated V12 back here. It's a mild hybrid based on a supercapacitor and making around 820-ish horsepower. In the video game, it'll do 0 to 100 or 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds, and its top speed with 350 kilometers an hour in the video game. So I don't know about reality. I don't know if they're actually going to sell these cars to normal people or not. Alright, so that's it for the statistics of the real car and the video game car, I guess. So yeah, back to this. I can't push that forward, so that could have been better. I suppose you might be able to take it apart. Alright, so then I am going to have to take it off the base here. That electric screwdriver you've seen in so many of my videos has vanished. I don't understand how it could have gotten lost in this review room. So it's really strange. I don't know. I'm going to have to review some more electric screwdrivers apparently, because I have no clue where that thing went. It was a perfectly fine electric screwdriver. Alright, that's a random subject, but so yeah, it's just painful to watch myself unscrew something by hand now when I'm spoiled by the electric screwdriver. There's a little plastic thing here, and it's nice, the screws don't just fall out because there's a little bit of grip there. So looking at the bottom of this thing, we do have that branding on the bottom, made in China. It doesn't tell you what the car is, and then you can see these funky, like almost like racing slicks or rain slicks or something. But you can also see the sidewall of the tire, at least, well, it's a little bit curved in this view, so I guess it looks okay. But from here, they almost look very cookie cutter slab sided. It's kind of molded in like carbon fiber texture, and so you have 3 screws holding this thing together. You can actually see that axle. Oh, you know what it is? It's probably the wheel is, the axle's a little bent here. You can see the silver of the wheel, or possibly that's a brake system. Alright, let's continue on with the review. Try to get in on here. It's a little unfair to zoom in on a diecast this close, but we're at 4 times magnification. And you can see the Lambo logo is done really well. And I guess that's supposed to, yeah, it looks like a brake system back there with a caliper on the left side. So that's pretty cool. Looking at this metallic paint, it's pretty nice. Or maybe it's just a clear orange over the diecast. I don't know. I don't know, because diecast usually have a bunch of scratches in them, so maybe it is. Well, it looks like a clear coat to me, but you'll have to decide for yourself. Alright, boy, there's so much stuff going on here. This is painted black, I think. Yes, it's pretty glossy. It's kind of trying to reflect. See, it's reflecting this surface here. This surface has on the side some white paint, and this just looks like black. But over here is a physical texture to probably mimic carbon fiber. It's very thin. You got the 63 here, Centro style. That's the Lamborghini styling house that did this thing. There's a vent here. Oh, this is a photo etched piece of metal, I think. That is unexpected, but very nice. So rear wheel, yeah, pretty decently centered Lambo logo. There's some sort of, I guess that's supposed to be a center lock detail, but it's not really sticking out, so maybe not. The hexagons here are painted silver on this black, and then the rim is kind of like a copper color, so it's interesting. But 3 colors of paint on these wheels, so that's impressive. The rear wheels are taller. I'm not sure if you're going to hear my cat meowing outside, but it is. So far, it's pretty good. Now we have the molded side window. There's some black paint on the outside surfaces, it seems. Probably either a fuel, yeah, I guess that'd be a fuel filler hatch. There's 2 of them. Going around to the front, so yeah, you have those light bars or LED strips. And what's going on here? Is this? I'm trying to see if those are recessed. I kind of feel like there's like this ridge, double set of ridges, and the paint is in it. So that's interesting. And then this is just painted on top of that surface there. And then there's some down here I didn't even see before. Okay. So this is what's throwing me off in the photo comparisons. I don't know if that exists on the real car. These white stripes, it kind of kicks up and then it goes horizontally backwards. Alright, interesting. This wing has a physical texture to look like carbon fiber, but there's something gold printed there. Oh, the 63. So that's pretty cool they were able to get that on there. This must be a separate piece from here. And then, ooh, there's a photo etched toe loop here. That thing is so thin. I didn't even see that. I'm lucky I didn't just break that off. So that's really neat. And then the Lambo badge here. Yeah, it's like a foil sticker if I had to guess, or it looks shiny. Then we have, I guess, shock indications maybe. That's probably a push rod. This is splanked out though. That should be hollow, but I think it's part of this die cast, and they want it to not just break off. So had to be done. At least it's painted black. Okay, well, these strips go back there, and I guess probably, yeah, alright, becomes this thing. Some vents there. You can see the bottom side is even painted, so that's nice. And this is really thin. I mean, for die cast, that's actually quite thin. Very, very cool. The windshield has the blackout on the outside. It's glossy. There's some ridges molded in there. This thing has no wiper blade. Yeah, nice little skylight. And I like how they have a groove here for the panel cut. Boy, this is a little gappy there, unfortunately. Maybe it wasn't pushed up enough before they riveted or something. We have some painted on striping here, which is a nice touch. Okay, this side, no major problems, except for, well, you know what? It seems to have corrected itself, that tire gap. Well, it's not so bad now. Okay, it definitely doesn't roll. I'm now noticing there's this little kick out with some black paint there. There's a lot of details on this thing. Alright, so we have the Gran Turismo logo in a metallic, I guess, gold color. I guess with the along with the others. Then we have some windows here. That's interesting. I feel like, I guess for aero, but there's an air vent going into that engine area. And so the engine, you can now see there's a Lamborghini printed on there. Let me zoom in again, back to 4. Very cool, very cool. There's some sort of thing here. Is this that's a tampo print. Maybe that's like the supercapacitor area. Some sort of plumbing or something maybe going into there. This has this goldish color as well. You can see the physical texture of this wing looking like the carbon fiber. Here's just gloss. Now this is actually hollow. Well, that's weird, right? Because these arms look around the same thickness as the front ones. I suppose it's because, well, I don't know. I'm just thinking, because this is a plastic piece, this orange. So this is the only area holding this whole die-cast area on. Whereas maybe this, the die-cast might be attached somewhere else as well. So, but it would have been so cool if they hollowed that out. I mean, no one's going to roll this down a Hot Wheels track or throw it around. I think they could have gotten away with that hollowed out. Alright, so we have these wings here, and they have 3 stripes printed on them as well. This gloss clear coat is really nice. There's no imperfections, there's no scratches, there's no orange peel. So, very nice paint job. Even this inside black surface is pretty smooth. Very good. Moving on. We have, I don't know if, yeah, I guess that's printed red. The taillights on this, I think, are a Y shape. You know, with these 3 lines. Unfortunately, now we have a either contaminant or possibly leftover casting material. I'm going to leave it alone because it'll probably look ugly if I break that off. Tiny bit crooked, but that's really critical. Interesting, these vertical stabilizers, I guess, behind the tire. And that rolls a little. So these triple exhausts are nicely done. Look how thin the walls are here, this Y shape. And then the inside is painted this gold, right? That's pretty hard to do. Unless they painted the whole thing gold and then the black after. But I think this is just raw plastic, so I don't even know how they got the gold paint in there. And yet the faces are black. Maybe they just wiped it off when the paint was wet. Then we have some gold stripes down here and some white ones as well. There's a lot of work going on in here. Whoa, right, cool. So you can just see the air, around the whole body here. It's such a cool concept car these guys did. It's, I think, probably the coolest Lamborghini design yet. Which is weird because it's so over stylized. It's so complex looking. Generally that doesn't favor well in the realm of design long term. Simple is generally appreciated by most people. Okay. Still, this is really cool to look at. Just how thin it is there. It's like the body, it's like it's chamfered on the top and bottom surfaces. See? Yeah, hopefully you can see that. You know what? Let me get a flashlight and I'll cast it back towards us here. Yeah, that helps you see the body a little bit better. Or the other way. Okay, that's this thing's really cool. Even carbon detail, molded in on the side of the diffuser. What else? Maybe I'm missing something else. I think that's it. Okay. For the interior details, it's so small, but you can clearly see here, the molded carbon fiber texture of this, like, suspended instrument binnacle. There's obviously the central seat, and it has molded details of a black harness. Flanking it, I guess, is the die cast with that, metallic color on both sides. I don't really even see a steering wheel. It's probably there, but you know, it's a molded window, so it's hard to see. Maybe we can see it through the skylight here. No, again, it's molded, so I don't know. I can't tell. Your windshield is really your best aperture to try to see the interior, but it's hard. There's the bottom of the seat. Yeah, I don't see a steering wheel. Maybe it doesn't have one? It was started as a video game concept, right? But it has to have a steering wheel, like maybe a tiny F1 style one. Alright, well, we'll have to move on. So let's start with the more sedate comparison. So Mini GT has the McLaren F1. And then this car, I guess, is maybe a lot based off of the Cyan FKP. That's by Mini GT also. I think I may have repainted the interior though. And then the Kyosho has this, what is Veneno, I think it was a Veneno thing, the Roadster. And this is a nicely done model. Kyosho just doesn't really care so much about 164, it seems. They only trickle out castings. So I like the styling of this. It is crazy looking. I'm not a fan of the FKP myself. It's just kind of looks very McLaren like, and I find McLaren cars to be kind of ugly, the more modern ones, you know, anything past that. Alright, so let's get these out and get into the crazier ones. So Mini GT did the Aston Valkyrie, although you have no idea for real. It's just, they don't tell you what the model is, and so many of their castings is strange. And then LMF did the McLaren Solus. Actually, I do like the styling of this. This one's cool. The single-seater thing again. And that's a nice metallic orange. Alright, and then the last one is a design I came up with a few decades ago and have a 3D printer. So this is called the McLaren STR Short Track Racer. And there's a video on that somewhere on the channel. So that's still a two-seater. Get a lower angle. So the question is anyone going to make some other crazy single-seat car models? Like, I'm thinking the Caparo T1 and the BAC Mono. Those are really cool cars. If I was a billionaire or millionaire, I'd have those in real life. It would be nice to see someone make them, either in diecast or resin, because I don't think those have like cockpits, so there's no windows to pop off in resin. Okay, well, that's it for today's video. Sorry for the camera jostling again. I gotta say, this is a really nice model. There's only one imperfection, that little thing sticking out there. But if you just go back and look at how many things I pointed out, whether it's a molded detail or painted on details or the textures molded into this thing, it is fantastic. Most of my reviews are quite negative. That's why I've kind of shied away from collecting 164. There's a lot of weird design decisions and just poorly crafted models. So the only real criticism of this is, those things not being hollow. But again, I can understand why, because it's carrying all this weight of this whole, disconnected fender area. Alright, well, great stuff. Hopefully someone will make some other cool single-seater models in 164, and I'll definitely pick them up then. We'll see you around. Bye.